Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's Normal Guy of the North here, and today we're going to take a strategic look at something a lot of players have been asking during the holiday period. With coal coupons dropping, snowflakes landing, and the Armory stocked with some of the most impactful premium ships in the entire game, many players are wondering what the best single ship per class is to pick up with your holiday coal. To help you unlock the highest performance, the easiest learning curve, the most game mode flexibility, and ultimately the most fun, I've narrowed it down to 5 ships: 1 submarine, 1 destroyer, 1 cruiser, 1 battleship, and 1 carrier. The lineup is U-4501, Hayate, Salem, Scharnhorst 43, and Malta. And we're going to do a comprehensive deep dive into each one, covering why they stand out, how the community views them, and what makes them such consistent value for coal. So let's begin with U-4501, the German premium submarine. This boat has earned a reputation across the community for one reason: it blends accessibility with raw stopping power in a way most submarines simply don't. This is the German closed-cycle engine design, giving it extremely high underwater speed, letting you relocate, pressure flanks, and escape detection faster than most depth-charge aircraft can meaningfully respond. It carries only homing torpedoes, which actually simplifies the learning curve for new submarine players. There's no juggling between homing and unguided patterns. You ping, you guide, you launch, and you repeat. The bow tubes give you sustained pressure head-on, while the side-mounted triple-tube banks allow you to fire while kiting or turning out. This is one reason many players online call it the underwater Venom. It puts constant, repeatable torpedo throughput into the match without requiring complex setups or pixel-perfect angles. From a game mode standpoint, U-4501 excels in randoms, co-op, asymmetric battles, and almost every holiday or event mode that allows submarines. Clan battles, of course, depend on the rules of the season. Many formats restrict or ban submarines entirely. But in the modes where it is allowed, the mobility and the torpedo consistency give it tremendous influence. In terms of forgiveness, this is where U-4501 stands out. When submerged, the combination of speed and profile size makes it genuinely difficult for enemy airstrike charges to connect. Many players say landing a killing drop on this boat feels like winning a lottery ticket. The safety margin underwater is excellent. The risk only appears if you mismanage your dive capacity and get forced to the surface into crossfire. On the surface, its durability is poor, and mistakes are punished immediately. But the reality is that experienced players rarely spend meaningful time topside unless the match is already secured. That safety profile is one reason the community consistently ranks U-4501 as one of the most fun coal submarines available. Now, as we pivot toward the destroyer pick, let's talk about Hayate. Originally, Hayate launched with mixed reviews. The ship was visually similar to Shimakaze, but didn't fully commit to a single identity. Then came the critical buff: the ability to take smoke and torpedo reload booster together. That change transformed Hayate from a niche collector's ship into a flexible, hybrid destroyer that can engage with opportunities in both gun and torpedo play. She still maintains strong concealment, she still leverages high-damage long-range torpedoes, but now she brings significantly more gun power than Shimakaze. The artillery reload, combined with her 3-gun layout, gives her enough DPM to actually contest caps and fight other destroyers. Not as a pure duelist, ships like Marceau, Kleber, Somers, and Daring will outtrade her in a straight engagement. But Hayate has the tactical flexibility to fight when she chooses, not when the enemy dictates. The only real barrier to new players is handling. Hayate is large for a destroyer. Her rudder shift and turning characteristics feel sluggish compared with other ships in her class. That means positioning discipline is essential. You need to anticipate radar ships, crossfires, and torpedo lanes earlier than normal. But on the forgiveness side, she has the tools to correct your mistakes. Smoke lets you disengage. The enhanced gun DPM gives you options when you're spotted. And torpedo reload booster allows you to reassert pressure immediately after a misplay. In game mode application, Hayate is a standout. Random battles are where most players get the mileage, but she is particularly powerful in ranked. The ability to contest caps and punish broad battleships with rapid-cycle torpedoes makes her an anchor pick in many ranked lineups. In competitive settings like clan or team battles, she's played less frequently because destroyers are usually assigned more specialized roles, but she absolutely has a foothold depending on the strategy. And while Tier 10 doesn't always align with operations rotations, when she is permitted, she performs at a very high level. The community view on Hayate has improved dramatically since the buffs. Many now call her an underrated gem that rewards players who enjoy a hybrid build. She's not as memey as Shimakaze, and not as mechanically demanding as something like Khabarovsk or Marceau. She sits comfortably between extremes, appealing to players who want a destroyer they can adapt to many match environments. Now let's shift to the cruiser pick, and this one is a classic, Salem. If you've ever enjoyed Des Moines, Salem will feel immediately familiar. It's the same hull, the same super-fast auto-loading 203s, the same high-shell arcs, the same island-hugging playstyle. The major differences are the consumables. First, Salem trades the longer-range radar of Des Moines for a shorter 8.5-kilometer version. That's the main drawback. But in exchange, she gets a super heal, one of the strongest cruiser heals in the game by raw recovery potential. This is what makes her stand out in terms of forgiveness. You can take a bad trade, reset behind an island, and recover tens of thousands of hit points. That alone makes her extremely appealing for players mastering the American heavy cruiser style. Her game mode coverage is exceptional. Salem is one of the best Armory cruisers for operations. Her heal and DPM work beautifully against bots. In randoms, she plays a full US heavy cruiser role: radar support, area denial, cap control, and punishing anything that pushes your island. In ranked, she is viable. Any season radar cruisers are allowed, with the heal helping her survive pressure games. Community sentiment around Salem is extremely stable. Some players argue that getting Des Moines for free makes Salem feel redundant. But others highlight that the super heal dramatically increases your survivability and makes her a content monster in operations. The consensus is simple. If you want the Des Moines experience with more forgiveness and more uptime, Salem is the most consistent coal cruiser available. Now let's move on to the Battleship slot with Scharnhorst 43. This ship takes one of the most iconic mid-tier premiums in the entire game and tunes it for even more relevance in brawl-heavy environments. Players often describe it as exactly what you want a German Tier 7 battlecruiser to be. You get excellent speed, impressive secondaries, torpedoes for close-range engagements, and armor that lets you contest mid-range fights without evaporating. The main guns remain the traditional Scharnhorst flavor: smaller caliber battleship guns that rely on consistent hits and sustained damage rather than massive alpha. You won't be deleting heavily angled battleships, but you will be stacking reliable, repeatable damage and punishing cruisers that position carelessly. Scharnhorst 43 is very easy to learn if you already understand German battleship fundamentals. It teaches positioning, angle management, and controlled aggression. In terms of game mode flexibility, Scharnhorst 43 is truly outstanding. Tier 7 ships rotate through more operations than almost any other tier, making this one of the best farming ships for events, campaigns, and daily containers. In randoms, it shines when mid or top tier, and still performs reliably when up-tiered, as long as you adopt a support stance and avoid overextending into higher tier crossfire. In ranked and holiday brawl formats, it's almost always a top pick because of its mobility and flexible toolkit. Forgiveness is high when used properly. The armor scheme helps mitigate citadels, the damage control cooldown is short, and the speed allows you to disengage when necessary. The only real vulnerability is being overextended in bottom-tier games, where heavy battleships can outrange and punish you. But even then, careful positioning keeps you alive much longer than comparable competitors. The community sees Scharnhorst 43 as one of the most fun mid-tier coal battleships available today, consistently rewarding aggressive but thoughtful play. Finally, we close the roster with the carrier pick, Malta. For players who are comfortable with carrier mechanics, Malta is one of the most well-rounded coal carriers in the game. She offers strong, tanky planes, excellent strike consistency, and a toolkit that remains effective against destroyers, cruisers, and battleships alike. Her AP bombers are particularly noteworthy for their ability to deal massive citadel damage to cruisers and many battleships when aimed correctly. Her torpedo bombers hit hard, and while their approach demands clean angles, skilled players land reliable strikes. The HE rockets provide flexible damage options without requiring extremely precise drops. Malta's learning curve depends heavily on the player's carrier background. For someone brand new to the class, mastering drop mechanics, approach vectors, spotting discipline, and squadron management takes time. But among high-tier carriers, Malta's plain durability and overall toolkit make her one of the more forgiving options. She absorbs mistakes more effectively than carriers with fragile squadrons, and her regeneration rate keeps her active deep into the match. In randoms, Malta provides consistent pressure. In ranked, when carriers are allowed, her damage reliability and ability to spot crucial ships give her huge value. In competitive modes that allow carriers, Malta is often viewed as a stable pick due to her plane quality and versatility. The community generally sees Malta as a rewarding, high-impact carrier that blends accessibility with performance. So as we wrap up, the case for each of these picks becomes clear. U-4501 gives you unmatched underwater mobility, simple but effective torpedo mechanics, and tremendous damage potential with a gentle learning curve. Hayate offers a hybrid destroyer experience that rewards flexible cap play, opportunistic gunfights, and strong torpedo engagements. Salem gives you Des Moines firepower with a super heal that dramatically increases your forgiveness and impact in multiple modes. Scharnhorst 43 provides one of the most enjoyable mid-tier brawling experiences in the game, perfectly suited for operations, ranked, and randoms alike. And Malta stands as a powerful, satisfying carrier option for anyone who wants a reliable Cole CV at the highest tier. Thanks for watching, I do appreciate it, and please feel free to click on the videos on your screen for more World of Warships content. But as always, take care, stay safe, and I wish you all the best. See you in the next one, and bye for now.